Welcome to a brand new Wired Up Retro. We are on to episode 61, and today I want to expand a bit on what I showed you how to do in the last episode. I am playing the game Redout on my PlayStation 4 with my Sony PS1 analog joystick made by Sony from 1995. I made it compatible with a few adapters, including the CronusMax Plus, and you should be aware that there's a new version of that adapter that's now available called the Cronus Zen. The other adapters that are required are a PlayStation to GameCube controller adapter and a GameCube to PS3 controller adapter. If you go to the description below, I explain the two methods to get the dual flight sticks controller into action on your modern day consoles. You can also watch Wired Up Retro number 60, which was our last episode, to have the connection methods fully explained. So definitely check out that video I made. Today I'm featuring the two-stick racing games, and whether you're using the PlayStation 1 Sony analog joystick or your current day two-thumbstick gamepad, I'm sure you'll find the games to be challenging yet very rewarding. Now when you think of racing games and the control involved, you usually think of a little thumbstick on your gamepad being turned left and right as you steer your vehicle while you press the accelerator button. But there are racing games out there with much more complex controls. Those are the games I'm most interested in showing you today. And they're the games that can put your brain on overdrive. And that can actually be a very rewarding experience when it all starts clicking and you've entered a new level of vehicle control. So as you can see in my PS4 game Redout, I have the left stick steering while the right stick does strafing and pitch control. I've assigned the buttons to do everything from accelerating to braking to vehicle repair, and of course weapons. Whether you have the Xbox One version of the game or the PS4 version, you can set the controls up in the options menu to your liking. Steering with the two sticks is not as easy as you might imagine. To get around corners, you have three options. So let's touch on those. Number one, use only the left stick, and your ship is going to do a moderate turn if you just are using the left stick alone. Number two, use both sticks with them tilting the same direction. And your ship will turn while also sliding, or what they call strafing, in that same direction. This allows for more aggressive turning and may keep you from scraping against walls. And last but not least, number three is using both sticks with them tilting in opposite directions. And if you do that, the back end of your ship will kick out to the side, enabling more efficient cornering through more complex sections of certain tracks in the game. If you can master these movements and learn when to let off the accelerator, you'll really start to appreciate this game and see how awesome two-stick racing games can actually be. Redout requires intense focus and a strong desire to experience speed like you've never experienced it before. Once you've got the controls down, it's really a thrilling ride. Another two-stick futuristic racing game is Anti-graviator. And in this, the left stick steers and the right stick allows you to do a barrel roll. So, another fun futuristic hover racing game. Now let's move on to a whole different type of two-stick racing game, Inertial Drift. There's never been a racing game quite like this one. It's actually the start of a whole new genre within racing games, two-stick drifting control. In this game, you steer left and right with the left stick while adjusting the drift angle of your vehicle with the right stick. Each vehicle has a very different feel to it, and it's nice experiencing a vast array of control qualities in each unique vehicle. The artistic vibe that this game displays is also very unique, and it's certainly one of a kind. Let's just take a moment to enjoy this game's smooth and aesthetically pleasing racing experience. If you enjoy racing games, you should definitely take this one for a spin, if you get my drift. No, but seriously, it's a great game. For those of you who like racing of the two-wheel variety, you might want to have a go at the Monster Energy Supercross series of Xbox One and PlayStation 4 game titles. The one I have and have really enjoyed is Monster Energy Supercross 2. In these kinds of motorcycle games, the left stick steers while the right stick can help you get an extra boost when launching yourself into the air from the peak of a hill. The right stick is also helpful in performing whips and scrubs after you've left the ground. In Supercross 2 for the PlayStation 4, it's actually kind of challenging to do a scrub, but with practice, your skills will start to develop. It's really a nice game to look at, and I've enjoyed it over the past few months. If you go back a generation, another really highly rated motorcycle racing game is MX vs. ATV Reflex. And you'll find that doing whips and scrubs using the two sticks is considerably easier in the game. This game offers a ton of variety and can really get you some serious airtime. I've had a lot of fun with it, though I will say that sometimes it seems a little daunting with the competitors just driving past you at incredible rates of speed while you're sitting there stuck in the mud. But on the whole, I think it's pretty fun to dabble and play with. I also want to show you another type of two-stick racing game that's a whole lot different than other racing games. There's actually a sport of racing drone quadcopters, and I'm showing you a little footage of actual quadcopter drone racing. It's just unbelievable that these guys put on these little VR headsets and can fly in a first-person perspective. They're quadcopters around these different courses that they're just humming right along. I mean, these things are going really fast. So the game I've decided to show you today is Drone Racing League Simulator for the Xbox One. It's also available for the PC. Now when you first start playing, you'll want to hit the training section of the game, and you'll quickly catch on and start progressing as a beginner. Handling these drones with two-stick control is pretty touchy and requires quite a bit of practice, especially once you start getting into the more advanced levels of control. I mean, this is deep, and you can actually develop the kinds of skills that will work in the real world of competing in the Drone Racing League. Of all the games I've shown in this episode, it's the one that will tax your brain the most, yet to learn real-world drone flying skills could actually prove to be the most rewarding and fun experience to come out of video games ever. And that's because your video game skills will directly translate to real-life skills. So what I've shown you today are the best examples of current-day two-stick racers with very interesting control setups. I would be remiss not to mention the two-thumbstick racing game control many of us became used to in the mid-90s, the DualShock Gran Turismo method of control. In this method, you use the left stick to steer and the right stick to control acceleration and braking. Even today, some people prefer this method of control, and it's very simple to learn and use. The only disadvantage is that it doesn't allow for heel-to-toe braking and acceleration, which might be important in rally games or sim racers. I'll also mention the game Baja Edge of Control, which was originally released on the Xbox 360 and then eventually came in a upgraded format to the PlayStation 4. You can use the right stick for up-down shifting in a manual transmission vehicle in this game. Also worth mentioning is you can do this also in Gran Turismo Sport. So a lot of fun just shifting gears with this kind of controller. Last but not least, I have to mention the two-stick racing option that's available to you when you're playing the Nintendo 64 game Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. This requires a code to be entered, and if you take a look at the description below, you'll see I provided a convenient link that explains how to enter the code very well. In this game, you have independent rocket engine controls with the left and right joysticks of your Nintendo 64 controllers. It's actually kind of brain twisting at first, but when you get the hang of it, I think it's actually pretty cool. So if you have an N64, you need to give this a try if you're at all into racing games. Well, that's about it for today. I really had a whole lot of fun playing these two-stick racing games, and I hope you enjoyed watching me play them. If you do set something up like this to play your two-stick racing games, I'm sure you'll have a whole lot of fun. Definitely, if you like the video, share it, and don't forget, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm sure that you're going to be enjoying my future Wired Up Retro videos. I have a new one on the way, which is going to be about using a Hyperkin Trooper 2 joystick, which is basically an Atari 2600 looking joystick that just came out, and it has additional buttons on it, and some of them are up on the shoulder where you actually use your index fingers to fire. So it'll allow multiple button games to be used with an Atari 2600 controller. Whoever thought that somebody would come up with something like that? But I'm going to really enjoy reviewing it. I will be very comprehensive in my review, as I'm sure you know. All right, so I'm going to get rolling. It's nice talking to you guys, and we'll look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Thanks much.